Hi Mel, this is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. I'm getting ready to listen to a speaking practice test that you sent me, and I have the independent speaking rubrics right here, and I have your email here. So you say, Michael, please listen to evaluate score and provide feedback on my independent speaking practice test number 55. I've graded 55 of your speaking practice tests. Are you kidding me? Is that right? So you pick topic number 124. Someone once said, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I've heard this statement many times. Do you agree or disagree with this statement and why? Okay, sure enough. Let's see how we did.
To me, it's a no-brainer that this
To me, it's a no. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
statement is particularly correct, as going early to bed gives to anyone a good health, and also it
So saying as going to bed gives, I would just say going to bed early gives. So you can use going as the subject. This is called a gerund phrase as a subject. It is possible to use gerund phrases in subject positions.
gives to a person a great amount of energy during the day.
Okay?
First, going early to bed give to everyone a good health, physically and mentally, both of them. I remember a time where
Maybe instead of physically and mentally, it might be difficult to support both of those ideas. You might say it gives people physical health or good mental health, and they give an example to illustrate one of those
for
ideas.
instance, when I was going to bed particularly late and I was so
When I was going to bed
exhausted and tired in
particularly
the
late,
morning, on the morning.
I like how you're adjusting your tone there for emphasis purposes.
Remember a time where, for instance, when I was going to bed particularly late and I
Okay,
was so exhausted and tired in the morning.
good. And I was so exhausted and tired in the morning.
On the morning. Second, it gives to everyone this energy necessary to tackle any difficulties and realize any projects
If you say, instead of say it gives, you might say following this mantra gives. And the mantra is the statement about makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, going to bed early.
during the day. For instance, I need to go to bed early in order to realize every project during my day.
Right, but you didn't really support anything. What project have you worked on, and how has going to bed early helped you complete that project? So you brought up an idea without adequate support for that point. So I think you're doing a little bit better with the delivery, but still it's not. It's generally clear. I think you don't have a lot of problems with fluidity of expression, but you do have some pronunciation problems which are noticeable, and some problems with tone which are noticeable that require some effort to understand you. So I think you have to keep, I know you're already doing this, but concentrate on getting a lot more exposure to the language. By maybe watching TV, you can focus on news, documentary, science, and maybe history programs. Really get a lot of exposure to those kinds of listening activities. In addition, find opportunities to speak in English whenever you can. I think that's going to be good. Language use, I think you had the as going to bed gives that particular part of your uh, response. I don't think that was the most appropriate grammar. I told you to omit the word as, that subordinated conjunction, and simply begin the sentence with a gerund phrase to complete that independent clause. I think that would be fine if you just did that. So sometimes you're not always sure about what the appropriate grammar is to help you communicate your ideas. So you have some problems in that area. Topic development, I think you can probably get a little bit more specific and what you say and how you say it. So usually lacks elaboration or specificity. You can still work on that. The only way you can do that is to limit your focus, right? So if what if you just say, well, going to bed early does make a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. What if you just focus on one aspect of that, how you can make more money if you follow that mantra? And then you give a specific example to illustrate that point of somebody, either you or somebody else, who has gone to bed early regularly over a period of several years, how they've been able to make more money as a result. So maybe just one reason and one extended example, and just take maybe 30 seconds or so developing that example. That's going to satisfy this area here where it talks about lacking elaboration or specificity. All right, so your response, I know your score on the TOEFL is about 24, and that's probably about where you are right now. So I'm going to put you at about 22 to 24 points out of 30 on this practice test.